we back? Are we back? Oh my god, we're back again. Here we are. It's been a long time. Welcome back, fam. We started a new stream. We've been live on that one for like 2 hours anyway. The FOMC minutes are just breaking right now. We're going to go over them. We're going to break them down. October released right here. PDF form. Watch your screens. Actually, I'll make it a tiny screen up here. Tiny screen up here. Chairman Powell will not be joining us. He'll be joining us in 3 weeks. Right now, we have the FOMC minutes from last month, from October, the month where we got no new data, casting a strange light on what will happen in December. Very strange light. We were expecting a 25% BPS cut in November's meeting. However, now that's uncertain. Probability or prediction tools were pricing it in at about 98% likely that we'd get another cut in December, and now that probability has dropped to about a third. Not that much has changed in between when markets were looking at 100% and now. However, the biggest factor, clearly, October not getting any data. Now, the Fed struggles to have data, and let's be real. At times, it's as if there is no data, right? It feels that way. Go back, Chairman Powell. It feels that way. But literally, no data, no operational data. The Fed will hammer home one point almost every single time we hear them talk, and that is they are data dependent and data driven. Without the data, I don't know if this has ever happened before. I'm not sure if it's ever literally happened before. If the government has not given the data to the Fed. Do you guys know? Yeah, let me get this. Good. Doubleheader live stream. We're just starting. Close that. Okay, we're gonna break this down. Things are not as certain as they were last month, which is crazy because I don't really think things were very certain last month. What's the plan? That's a really good question. The plan today is to break down these minutes. We're gonna keep looking at the charts here because something tells me this is not quite over. We went back to our regular format because I didn't do the dual stream this time. We're gonna do the regular stream. So glad Powell is leaving in April. He's leaving in May, I believe. I like the cut of your jib. Thank you, Suppressive Fire. Appreciate you. Cope hard. Oh, we're gonna cope. We're coping. I'm not sure what we're coping about, but we're gonna cope. Let's cope. On that note, as we cope, what I need from you, hit the like button, subscribe, share out the stream, chat in the live. Let's get a poll going. In December. You can join us over at youtube.com/TomCrown. For the main stream, there's, I don't even know, 1,000, 2,000 people here concurrently chatting. But if you're over on X, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, wherever you're at, subscribe and follow there. Like the screen, tap, all the goodies. 25, yes, 25 BPS. Yes, more than 25 BPS. No cut. And I don't know. There we go. Vote in that poll. As we do, we're going to break down these notes that just were published a few minutes ago. We're going to use AI to help us because they're very dry. They're very repetitious. It's very much like when Chairman Powell himself speaks. It is not very digestible. We're going to do our best to help break it down and understand any kind of implications. While these aren't usually the spiciest of pieces of info, they do have meaning. They do have importance. Maybe less so because there was no meeting in November. The meeting is December. There's been some other factors going on. Maybe. But sometimes there are little hidden gems in here. What these are the behind the scenes notes, comments, thoughts of each of the Fed participants, and really just more information as to what went on during the last meeting, the discussions behind them, and their reasoning behind their choices. So we're gonna break them down. We're gonna be monitoring the crypto charts because Bitcoin is eating shit. It is what it is. Let me make sure everything's settled on the stream. Are we good? Are we stable? I'll put crypto crashes live in the title as well. That's been getting clicks. So let's jump into it. Yummy, yummy. Yummy shit. F in chat for everybody. Pulling it up. Let's have 𝐂𝐻 help us out. So the minutes of the Open Federal Market Committee, the developments in financial markets and open market operations. Riveting. A riveting 3 pages about this. So let's ask 𝐂𝐻. Break it down, give a bullet point of important ideas. And while we wait for it to happen, takes a minute. Let's read all the toxic comments going on. Not looking good? No, it is not. CMBM trade strategy. I don't know what that is. Danny Morgan. What is that? Make Gina Fed chair. I like that idea. So many haters. I know, dude. Isn't it wild? It's wild. You know that it's getting spicy when just weird people come out to play. Still training, looking slim. Oh, looking slim. I am still training. I hope I don't look slim. Help. Yeah, I gotta hide you, dude. You've said a lot of strange stuff, but yeah, hurting yourself. Not in the chat, dude. If you need help, please call Crisis Hotline. Crisis Hotline is out there. They're there to help you. Don't hurt yourself. Crypto Reeks. What's up, Trinity? 70K soon. It certainly looks like we're heading lower. We broke our low that we put in on our last live stream. We've traded lower today. There really isn't meaningful support. Actually, looking at the daily, we have some disgustingly bearish order blocks going on. Fair value gaps. These are bearish resistances now. Just what we needed. More resistance above. We didn't have quite enough. Now we do. Honestly, it just looks like it's repeating. I don't see, for those of you who weren't in the last live, I don't really see an argument for bullishness yet. At any time, Bitcoin can reverse, of course, but there just really isn't a great argument. We've broken past anything that I would have expected to bounce from. If we look left in price action, we have largely just a void, a gap, leaving very little support, very little bounce in this area till we get all the way down into roughly the area or the sell-off percents that we saw earlier this year and last year when we traded from all-time highs down to 47,000 in April and from 75K to 50K in 2024. We've marked those on the chart. That gives us like a 86 to 84,000 area where we might look for a bounce. Below that, we have literally just April's lows, 74 to 76K. These are the 2 areas I'd be looking for a bounce. Right now, I don't have anything on the chart that's saying time to reverse. I do believe that we will reverse. Either here or at one of these points, we will see some kind of bounce for a lower high at worst. But we're going to be updating you day by day on that. We are live all the time now. We've been live and catching every single major move that we have seen in this market. So make sure you're subscribed, notifications enabled. You don't want to miss these streams. It's just getting real. So here is the FOMC. The FOMC. Developments in financial markets and outlooks. Here are our notes. One sec. So these are from October. The Fed said, stable macroeconomic outlook. Woo, this might not age well. Market participants maintained. Market participants maintained unchanged macroeconomic views, interpreting recent data as indicating a resilient economy. Policy rate expectations remain steady with anticipated 25 BPS cuts. Here we go. This is interesting, and we are just one sentence into this. Pretty much in October, the Fed said they anticipate a cut, obviously in October, but and in December. That's what we were talking about. That's what we thought. This is now becoming less concrete. People are doubting this as we get closer. We still have 3 weeks to the meeting, but in October, they stated here flat out that they expected another cut in December. Though, and they said though there's some uncertainty. That uncertainty has definitely only grown since October. Treasury yields and inflation compensation were largely unchanged, aligning with stable policy expectations. Inflation compensation declined, especially for shorter terms, attributed by staff models to temporary factors. Equity and credit markets, broad equity indexes rose, driven by strong performance in large tech companies due to AI optimism and expected robust earnings growth. Corporate bond spreads slightly increased, but stayed low. Investor scrutiny intensified on riskier credit segments following bankruptcies and bank credit losses. I wonder when we're going to get the next bank fold. I feel like it's close. I feel like it might happen before the end of the year. Especially because the next topic is standing repo, and I think those repo markets have been going crazy since this meeting. The trade-weighted dollar index increased modestly over the period, but remained weaker year-to-date against major currencies, meaning the Dixie was down. That's still true, but it hasn't given up any more strength since. Forecasters expect modest appreciation over the medium term. Money market conditions and indicating approaching ample reserves. Treasury repo rates rose notably relative to IORB, attributed to declining liquidity from balance sheet runoff and large treasury issuance. This led to a rapid increase in EFFR relative to IORB. I don't even know what these mean, with widespread effects on RRP usage. Reverse repo usage fell to minimal levels, while SRF saw more frequent but small volume use. Indicators of reserve ampleness. So back to talking about quantitative tightening and easing, I believe. Banks shifted payments later in the day, suggesting reverse. Let me get this out of the way, actually. God, that looks bad. I don't even know what to like keep up here on the chart. It's all just red candles. Stick with me. We're getting through the first part of it. Banks shifted payments later in the day, suggesting reserve economization. Share of domestic banks borrowing in federal funds markets increased. EFFR elasticity to reserve supply changes was stable but influenced by debt ceiling effects. Repo rate elasticity to volume changes rose significantly since late August. I'm doing too many things at once today. Keep subscribing. I see you guys coming in. I'll catch you in a minute. Recommendation to stop SOMA portfolio runoff. Ooh, I think this is what we've been waiting for. Manager suggested considering halting runoff soon to avoid intensifying money market volatility, which could risk policy rate control and funding stability in repo and treasury markets. Further reductions might be temporary, accelerating need for restarting security purchases. That's big. Did I interpret this right? Let me see what you guys are saying. That is quantitative easing, right? Purchases, reserve purchases is quantitative easing, putting liquidity back into the market, putting money back into the market. The retail sales supposed to be announced. AI quantitative easing, baby. Oh, huge crack my back. I didn't see that. I don't see anything announced today. Tomorrow, average hourly earnings, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate tomorrow, Philly Fed manufacturing index, U.S. unemployment claim, existing home sales, and leading index tomorrow. But today, none of that. The non-believers, shun the non-believers, Charlie. Accelerating the need for restarting quantitative easing, basically. Balance sheet trajectory, more about quantitative easing and tightening. These notes aren't bad. Desk survey respondents anticipated an earlier end to runoff, earlier end to QT, with potential revisions suggesting half might expect announcements at this meeting, which they did, right? With balance sheet runoff ending in December. Without on RRP take up and resuming runoff ends, reserves projected to decline gradually due to rising other liabilities, dipping low at quarter ends, year ends, and tax dates. Dipping low at quarter ends, year ends, so end of the year. And then in April, Desk operational updates. Desk to implement new trading platform for repo, reverse repo soon, expanding to other operations. No foreign currency interventions for SOMA during that period. Committee's actions were unanimous. The ratification of Desk's domestic transactions over the intermeeting period. So these are, so far, and I'm reading this and trying to do this live, so it's harder for me to like take it all in. Probably gonna need your help. So far, big things. 25 BPS cut was expected in December at the last meeting in October. There's some uncertainty around that now. We're seeing that probability drop day by day. It's down to 1/3% from 100% basically. And also discussion of quantitative easing and tightening. They did make an announcement. I think it was quantitative tightening was ending in December was like the gist of the announcement at the meeting. But they have gone more into this, giving some more specifics about how that might look, about their ample reserves. This is good. A lot of people have been waiting for crypto, or at least for alt season, to see quantitative easing begin, or the balance sheet to add. They've been selling off their balance sheet, taking dollars, putting the assets back, and then reversing it, putting dollars back into the economy. Once quantitative easing begins, we have not seen that at all this cycle. Now, the standing repo facility. Repo has been used. I think we hit some records on repo since this meeting. Money printing, I agree. Printer make everything go up. Easing, is it easing Emerson? Is it that easing begins in December, or was it that tightening ends? And they are in ways the same thing. They're not literally the same thing, but they should have the same effect logically. Can we get a confirmation? Does anybody know? Hold up. Money printer, everything go up. True? Man, true. Easing, never said easing begins. That's what I thought, David. That's what I thought. People, we have been running away with everything the Fed says for the last like 2 years. Anytime they say anything, people just run away with it. Remember people were yelling about like 100 BPS point cut? Like, Fed moves slow. Standing repo facility. These discussions focused on the standing repo facility, particularly the benefits and costs of implementing central clearing for its transactions. They talked about the SRF's role in monetary policy, supporting effective implementation and transmission of monetary policy, as well as smooth market functioning by helping maintain the control. These might not be the right notes, AI. I don't want, no. Oh, it says special topic. We've never seen this before. I don't think that this has ever been included in the notes. Something that said special topic. I don't remember that. So it is a very short. Yeah, and there's another one. Balance sheet issues. Interesting. And it's summarizing it the same way. Key benefits include enhanced SRF effectiveness, controlling the Fed funds rate by encouraging greater usage during repo rate pressures. Drawbacks involve heightened systematic risks from central clearing providers, potential for increased non-bank leverage in treasury markets, and larger Federal Reserve presence in financial markets. Most participants endorsed the SRF's role in monetary policy transmission and market stability. I guess it doesn't say much, but the fact alone that it says special topic is interesting. I do not remember them ever including these topics. Balance sheet issues. So this is going to be more about quantitative tightening, quantitative easing. We're almost through these, don't worry. We're almost through the slow part. The FOMC discussed balance sheet issues, focusing on when to end the ongoing runoff, or the quantitative tightening, of the Fed's balance sheet, and the long-run composition of the SOMA Treasury portfolio. I'm going to have to look into that more. Participants noted recent tightening in money markets, signaling reserves approaching ample levels, agreeing to soon halt runoff, or to soon halt quantitative tightening, and redirect agency securities principal payments to treasury bills. They favored a larger share of treasury bills in the long run for greater flexibility in managing reserves, accommodating policy changes, and reducing incoming volatility, with most preferring a composition matching outstanding treasury securities for simplicity and adequate flexibility. Some advocated a measured transition to avoid market disruptions, while others saw no issues based on past experiences. Discussions on exact long-run compositions were deferred, as shifts would occur gradually over the years, of course. So they decided to not give us much information because the Fed likes to be boring. Really quick, before we jump into this next segment, and more than halfway through the notes already, check this out. Bitcoin has been selling off all morning. Bitcoin has broken past June's low, and if anything, we're actually looking down towards April's low for Bitcoin. The total crypto market cap has kind of stalled. We saw this 3 trillion hit earlier in the stream, a few hours ago when we started streaming the first stream. Bitcoin continued to fall, but total is hanging on actually to 2021's high. While this, isn't super bullish, it is interesting, and I will say I didn't really expect this. Finding support at 3 trillion while Bitcoin continues to fall. We can extrapolate out on that and say Bitcoin dominance is falling. We can pull up Bitcoin dominance and it should be falling. I don't have the chart up. Should be falling. I'll say it one more time. Repeat myself for the 50th time as I try to pull it up. There we go. Why is it rising? Okay, so it rising today would reflect that Bitcoin has fallen less than total today. How much did total fall today? Total has fallen 4.8%. Okay, yeah, well. $4.45. All right, slightly. Not as exaggerated as I would have expected, just looking at those. But it's interesting that it stalled at 3 trillion. I may have just cursed it. It may just be about to fall right now. I get maybe to rephrase it, it's interesting that total is at like a support level, while Bitcoin is just in like a knife territory. It's not really at a meaningful level. I'm gonna pull up the dollar here. The dollar is gaining strength. Great. Dollar looks like it's gonna goddamn reverse. Oh my god. Great. Wonderful. Dollar with a beautiful green candle today, up 0.6%, retesting 100. I guess it's liking the FOMC minutes. Staff review of the economic situation. Let me put this next part. I'm gonna put this next part in and let me read the chat. I don't like just reading off these minutes. It's boring. It's dry. I'm missing all the juicy comments. What's up, Richard? Drogan, just make a red packet. A red packet, it's yours. USDT on small time frame is parabolic, dude. USDT dominance is ripping. I really don't want it to hit 6.2. This gets so crappy at 6.2. Luckily, it's not quite there yet. Skills and lines, value, line. There we go. Luckily, it's not quite there yet, but man, it has overshot what I thought would happen. It has moved much higher than I thought. This theory, right, might be wrecked. Much like my longs. Much like my long trades. What's up, Gobbles? Black Friday prices. Black Friday prices today. It's only Wednesday. Why does this guy keep talking about some... Danny Morgan, why do you keep saying some weird trade strategy is the best indicator? Oh, you're just advertising some other channel. All right, bud. Well, goodbye. Trying to go to some weird live channel. What's up, Birth Canal? I see a lot of new names here, guys. Good to see you. You found the right place to be. We're going over the FOMC minutes while Bitcoin honestly just keeps us in suspense. The dollar is reaching up, really blasting. Bitcoin just keeps dropping down. Haven't really not found any reason for the bottom, any reason for reversal yet. Sometimes things do. Sometimes they just reverse when there's no reason. Reason meaning from the chart. There isn't always like a warning. But I don't know. We're at 88.8. Really isn't a value that we see through any lens, unless I'm missing something. It really doesn't seem to be much here. Below us, it's 86 to 84K to match the last major sell-offs of this bull run. The one in April and the one in 2024. Those would be the proportionate sell-offs from the high to the low. That's where I'm logically looking. I don't know where else we would look right now. These FOMC minutes are kind of more dovish than I expect. I think that we will look to see over the next few days changes to that interest rate cut probability. I think it's likely we see that change. Honestly, I just don't know what to make of not having the data for October. I don't know if they would make any decision. I wouldn't be surprised for Chairman Powell to go out in December and be like, we can't make any decision. We have to wait till the next meeting. Eating the gamma 88, not that significant. Crown sold his headphone and glasses. My headphones actually died. I have a cord here. Let me grab one. Take me 2 seconds. We're going to jump right back into this. Hit the like button and subscribe. You got 10 seconds. Told you I had 10 seconds. There we go. We're back, baby. Yamanachi, why did crypto take a big hit? I mean, what kind of answer are you looking for, right? I think the best answer is this is kind of just what crypto does. This is what Bitcoin does. This is what markets do. You look back at the last 2 years, I think are a really good example. Bitcoin goes up, and it goes down. And it goes up, and it goes down. And it goes up, and it goes down. That's the realist explanation. This is a realist answer. Any answer outside of that just becomes a lot more speculation. We can say it could be an effect of the government shutdown, could be an effect of uncertainty in global financial markets, global trade, could be honestly just overall uncertainty of this entire year. Anything else we point to is really just largely speculation. I think the best answer is always, this is how markets operate. This is how they move. they don't just go in one direction, right? It's not the answer you want. I understand that. But it is really the only answer that exists. The yen's getting crushed. So we can also maybe blame Japan. Do we want to blame Japan? You can just blame Japan. There's a lot. There's stuff going on with Japan right now. Are these going to light up? One sec. No, they got to charge. There's some crazy stuff going on with, I was just reading about it. Just reading about it. It's not my area of expertise. Did I just rename that? Whatever. I'm out of it today, guys. I woke up. I was so groggy. JPY is what I'm looking for, not yen. Derp to derp. We could blame the yen. USD JPY. The yen is having an explosive day. When was the last time they had an explosive day? That's not good. This is not great. I would say, so like in April, USD JPY hit a low. Now here we are hitting a low and USD JPY is hitting a high. That's uncomfortable. It's kind of similar to what we're seeing on dominance. Bitcoin's dumping, and in the last dumps, Bitcoin dominance did some very spicy moves, right? I guess, yeah, kind of moved up. Put it this way, dominance has moved up on Bitcoin's dumps. That doesn't seem to be happening right now. This dump is a little bit different. FOMC Williams speech. Dude, the Fed members speak all the time. They're constantly speaking. There's so many of them. We don't really follow them because they don't, I don't know, they don't really say much, I suppose. I don't see him speaking today. I don't see him speaking. I don't see it. Delayed September data, U.S. jobs released Thursday. Trump remarks on the U.S. Saudi investment. Andrew Tate is one of the worst traders in crypto. It's really him or James Nguyen. They're tied. Minutes of the Open Market Committee. Yeah, there's nothing. Double medication day. Yeah, double down. Double down. Let's finish up these notes, shall we? USD JPY. I should ask you also, AI, what's going on. Chad, do you guys know? I was just reading about, what was it? Maybe the rates. It was either the rates, or was it that it was about their like giant debt that Japan has basically just like printed debt to pay for everything for a very long time. And I don't want to like incorrectly cite this. So maybe I'll wait. I got no more margin. I got no more dollars. Got no more monies for the dips. Japan dumping treasuries. Was that it? Is that they're going to dump treasuries for the payments? I forget. Curb shifter, look into it. They're turning off their printer. There you go. Interesting that USD JPY is going up. This would, okay, so this means that the dollar is gaining strength against the JPY. So the yen is going down, which makes sense. If maybe not, if they turn off their printer, it's kind of counterintuitive. Oh, we'll crack into that. The dollar is definitely moving up right now. Let's finish this up. We only have a few more pages. Oh God, why are these so long? It's because they had the two special segments, I think. Okay, into the next statement. Oh my God. Staff review of the economic situation. Following up the FOMC minutes here, the staff reviewed U.S. economic situation, noting moderated real GDP growth in the first half of 25, a strong Q2 rebound after Q1 decline, although slower overall than 2024. Private domestic final purchases, PDFP, grew slightly but decelerated continuing at a robust pace into Q3 despite data limitations from federal government shutdown. Labor markets showed gradual cooling with sharp decline, while total and core PCE inflation stood at 2.8% in September, with total inflation up 0.5 percentage points year over year. Net exports contributed positively to Q3 GDP amid falling imports and moderate export declines. The shutdown was expected to temporarily reduce growth with a rebound upon reopening. Where is our reopening rebound? Bitcoin literally breaking lower right now. In this moment, Bitcoin hitting lower lows. It does not like these minutes. It's hating me reading these minutes. 88.6K. Subdued European activity, weaker U.S. demand, and tariff-related uncertainty, though high-tech demand supported some regions like Mexico and Asia. Headline foreign inflation neared targets amid lower energy prices, but core remained elevated in places around the world. Simple. Sell now. I mean, guys, Bitcoin broke lower again. You got to do what's best for you. You can't just ask a stranger on the internet if you should sell or buy. It is, I guarantee you make the wrong decision if you ask a stranger on the internet what you should do. I don't give financial advice here, mostly for that reason, and because it's not a good idea. What you need to do, no matter what, is assess your emotional state right now. Are you panicking? If you're panicking, I have an answer for you, and that answer is take a deep breath. Let your body relax. Get out of the fight or flight mode. Do not make a decision while you are in the fight or flight mode. If you're panicked, if you're rushing, if you're feel the adrenaline going, go do something else. Listen to me talk and summarize this boring FOMC minutes. Go for a walk. Go play with the puppy. Go to the store. Go grocery shopping. Go to the gym. Do something. Get away from these thoughts. Allow your body to reset. Get out of that fight or flight mode. Center yourself, and then you can make a decision. If that decision is you still think you should sell or buy or whatever, go for it. But don't do it in the moment. Don't do it in a panic. That will certainly not go well. You will regret it. I will give you all hugs. Hugs for free. Go out, have a drink. You can have a drink. So, I mean, having a drink's not bad, right? It's a good idea. But do not have a drink and then go make decisions. So that's the problem. If you go have drinks, don't do impaired trading today. It's a really bad idea. When is the FOMC? 3 weeks. We're going over the minutes right now. We are largely through them. DCA in, DCA out. Move slow. Also, there you go. If you want some solid overall advice today, if you have a feeling that you need to sell all your Bitcoin or whatever, or you're having a feeling of you need to buy with all of your money, you need to put all of your capital in right now, because there are people in this chat who are panic selling, and there are people in this chat panic buying. No matter who you are, please get out of that mental state. But even then, once you're out of it, if you still want to do these things, consider this. Instead of throwing all of your money in, say you have a certain amount of money, you want to go all in right now, or you have a certain amount of Bitcoin, you want to sell all of it right now, consider doing half. Cut it in half, do half, whatever that decision is. Lessen the decision. Half, a quarter, whatever it is. Try not to be all in or all out. That has been really successful for me. When you do the all in or all out, the issue is inevitably you see the market move in the other direction. And when that happens, when you have completely removed or completely put yourself in, you're setting yourself up for a much heavier and a much more stressful situation. You're going to feel stupid. You're going to feel a lot of pressure to make another move in an emotional state, to panic buy back in or panic sell again. And you get yourself caught in kind of this loop of getting chopped up, of buying it as it goes up and selling it as it goes down, and losing money in each direction. If you do half, you panic buy half, panic sell half, whatever you're doing, you can see it go either way, and you can be like, okay, I'm all right. I'm not totally missing out. Whatever you can do to help your mental state, to keep you calm, to keep you focused is going to be very valuable. So take a minute. Andy says we're going to 70K before we bounce. It's possible. Possible. We got a few more levels to go through. Few more. DCA is king. The concept of DCA, moving slow, not all in, not all out, I think is very successful. What's up, Sharknado? What's up, Mr. Schmeed? Big says sell Bitcoin. Man, a lot of people freaking out. Drink alone. Digital asset DJ, come on over, bring a 6-pack. Bring some seltzer beers. In the intermediate period, the expected path of the federal funds rate through 26 and nominal treasury yields remained largely unchanged, with short-term real yields rising slightly due to inflation falling, compensation from lower oil prices, while longer-term metrics were stable. Broad equities rose moderately, driven by tech firms' positive earnings and AI optimism. With credit spreads unchanged and low, the S&P 500 volatility near historical medians. Foreign markets showed a strong risk appetite, with equity gains, especially in tech, declining yields in advanced economies amid weak data. Rising Japanese yields due to fiscal expectations and modest dollar appreciation from U.S. data strength. U.S. short-term funding markets tightened orderly, with EFFR nearing IORB, occasional SOFR spikes above SRF minimums, increased SRF usage, and on RRP at 2021 lows, indicating reserves approaching ample levels. Borrowing costs eased slightly but stayed elevated. Post GFC averages, with robust issuance in corporate bonds, leveraged loans, and private credit. Bank loans grew via C&I lending. Credit availability was generally tight for small businesses and low-score borrowers, but accessible otherwise. Banks reported easing standards on various loans, with overall standards at median levels since 2011. Credit quality was stable but weaker than pre-pandemic levels. Elevated stress. Mortgages remained low. The staff assessed U.S. financial system vulnerabilities as notable. Elevated asset valuations, high PE ratios, risky asset demand, moderate non-financial debt, moderating private credit with quality concerns, flattening house prices, notable financial sector leverage, and moderate funding risks. Growing short-term instruments and stablecoins vulnerable to runs? Growing short-term instruments and stablecoins vulnerable to runs. That's weird. Did they actually say the word stablecoins in the FOMC minutes? In the FOMC minutes. This might be a first. This may be the first time ever in the history. In the FOMC minutes, the words stablecoin, or the word stablecoins, is in there. That's pretty bonkers. That's crazy. That's actually wild. All right, this is the last segment. I'm going to put it into Grok, but I'm going to give myself a breather. Because, man, this is much longer than usual because it included those two special segments. Let's see what the chat thinks. Almost 3,000 votes. This stream must be popping again. It's our second live stream of the day. Almost 3,000 votes. Wild. About the FOMC meeting in December. 41% of us still looking at a 25 cut. 10% of us still looking beyond the 25 cut to a bigger cut. 35% at no cut, very close to 25, and 50% of us just don't know, and that's fine. Good answers. Bull run over, Copium Road ahead. Let's go. The old Copium Road. I'm very familiar. The 1 hour target is 86.5, 86.5. 86.3 is pretty, I think it's pretty decent. Man, it's been no opportunity to short here. From 92 all the way down to 88.5, there's been no short opportunity. The dollar looks like it is about to break to a new November high, which is not a very good sign. Jeez. Bitcoin, you look like shit. You look bad. You look sick, son. At 86.3, we have seen the retracement that we saw earlier this year from all-time high to April's low. At 84.3, we will see the same retracement as we saw last year from 75 to sub 50K. We are getting close. We're getting very close. CoinGlass is showing 83 as the major washout level. Through what metric? I'm just curious. Like, I want to know which metric. Like, I don't know, liquidity or like liquidation zone. Opening up CoinGlass here, dude. This is what I don't like. Each sell-off that we have had here, each time it's sold off, I've looked at the funding rate, and each sell-off, man, the funding rate remains like, this is bullish. This is below neutral, slightly leans bullish, but it's just nowhere near what I would expect. Typically, when we're looking for a short squeeze, we're looking for like a major reversal bottom. You will see this funding rate go negative as shorts open up, and funding then shifts to the shorts. Shorts have to pay longs to be open because the market is balanced that way then. We haven't seen it. It just keeps remaining really close to neutral. There we are again. Selling off. Still very close to neutral. Play Arc Raiders. Yeah, right. Duke. Yeah, I'll see you out there, my friend. I've been playing Arc Raiders. Fear and Greed is at 0. It could get there. Tom, rate cut in December. I was in the 100% group of rate cut in December. I don't know now. So you shorted 92. True. Can we look at SolEth and SolBTC Sharknado? Yeah, we can get to that. What's the Fear and Greed index at? So there are many Fear and Greed indexes. I'll admit, even myself included, I just use whatever one I think better fits my narrative. On CoinGlass, Fear and Greed is at 16. Right now, what you'll find is all of them say extreme fear. The reading specifically is different. CoinMarketCap, 16. So that's actually the same. Sorry for the white screen. And then the original Fear and Greed, this is the one I use typically because this was the first one, is also at 15. So they are all actually very close. That hasn't been true lately. They're all in fear, extreme fear. 84K per coin, that's amazing. It's a good way to look at it. Is Powell still speaking? No, Powell speaks at the FOMC meeting. He will speak, it's in December. Today is the FOMC minutes, so he does not speak at the minutes. Does not speak at the minutes. This is the notes basically from the last meeting. The next FOMC is in 2 weeks, 6 days, and 23 hours. And wow, this has dropped even more. This has dropped more since the notes came out. Interesting. I'm glad we came back to this. Since these notes came out from October, we have seen the 25 BPS rate probability actually drop. I think we looked at this half an hour ago, maybe less, and this was like 30%, right? Now it's down to 24, under 1/4. This was as high as virtually 100% on October 24th, and it has drastically fallen since. That's spicy. Something in these notes is making people more hawkish on the Fed. My longs are wrecked. They are just destroyed. Pray for them. What's up, Ollie? Ollie Etimi subscribed. MR Vari. What's up, Matt Bowles? Randy Perillo. Mohit Sri. Surah Age. Malakano. What's up, Raw Z? Ahmed. Study Naka. Oliver. Tim Bimbo. Dr. Jagmoen. Hino. Luke. Masick. Bandinter. Bojan. Alexander Harrier. That guy. We got a lot of new subscribers. Welcome, fam. We're pretty much done. We have the last segment of the FOMC minutes here. Bitcoin showing a tiny bounce. We're on the 1 minute chart. I don't even know if I can call it a bounce. It is kind of just Bitcoin temporarily. Bitcoin at the moment not painting red candles. There we go. Call it that. Just some green candles. We've hit as low as 88.5 with no real bottoming in sight at the moment. We haven't seen any kind of change of character, kind of momentum shift. RSIs, our relative strength index, is hammered to the lows. On virtually every time frame, you will find Bitcoin is oversold, and that's not a bullish place to be. You do not want to see oversold conditions sustain, and that is pretty much where we're at here. This is looking pretty shitty. Please save us. Someone save us. Copium Road. Oh, Copium Road. Take me home. To a place. I know, that's what we need, dude. West Virginia. What's up, David? We're like, we're so down that we're singing country. This is new lows for us. New lows for Mr. Brown. I'm just playing. I'm not worried. Let's wrap up the final piece of the FOMC meeting while the dollar goes ballistic. Holy shit. There we go. That's a good view. While the dollar goes ballistic and Bitcoin eats shit. The final segment of the FOMC minutes released today, the staff's economic outlook. GDP growth was projected to be modestly stronger through 2028 compared to the September forecast. The Fed is seeing a longer-term, stronger recovery. Driven by higher potential output and supportive financial conditions, growth expected to exceed potential after 2025 as tariff drags fade, financial conditions turn positive for spending. Unemployment is anticipated to decline gradually after 25, stabilizing slightly below the neutral rate by 2018. Inflation largely unchanged from prior forecast. Tariffs expected to boost inflation in 25 into 26, followed by a return to disinflationary trends. Elevated uncertainty due to cooling labor market, which has definitely cooled more, high inflation, policy changes, and data limitations from government shutdown, downside risks to unemployment and GDP, potential sharper weakening, upside risks to inflation, and persistence beyond expectations. Participants' views on the current conditions. Inflation is noted to rise since earlier this year, remaining above the 2% target. Core elevated due to offsetting factors like tariff-driven goods versus inflation, housing disinflation, and excluding tariffs, inflation near target for some, but overall persistence concerns. Expect near-term elevations from tariffs, non-housing services, and a lot of tariffs, a lot of use of the word tariffs in these notes, and business price adjustments, potentially mitigated by AI and productivity gains, softer labor market, immigration policy effects on housing, Short-term expectations eased, longer terms anchored, but risks of unanchoring from prolonged high inflation was emphasized. The labor market saw job gains slowing. Unemployment edged up but low through August, and data was limited by the shutdown, relying on private indicators showing gradual softening without sharp decline, attributed to reduced supply and demand amid uncertainty and AI investments. A lot of AI talk. Outlook, gradual softening for the labor market, low turnover adding downside risk, and divergence from GDP possibly due to AI productivity boosts. Moderate expansion of economic activity, consumer spending firming but uneven. Housing weak despite stabilization signs. Business strong, AI data center investments potentially enhancing productivity. I don't want no AI centered built in my town. Agriculture facing headwinds, high uncertainty, including shutdown impacts on data and activity. The risks were two-sided, increased downside to employment and upside to inflation. Trade tensions could disrupt supply chains. Concerns over non-bank credit failures, private credit risks, loan quality, funding, underwriting, etc. Asset valuations were stretched, and high corporate borrowing were all considered for financial stability threats. Current meeting decisions, inflation, elevated activity, moderate job gains slowed. Many favored the 25 BPS fund cut to neutral. Funds rate cut to neutral stance. Some could support maintaining or preferred no cut. Some preferred maintaining or no cut, which probably weighs heavily on December's meeting. Due to stalled inflation progress. Only one member, and we know who it is, advocated for a 50 cut. Near universal agreement to end security runoffs. There we go. This is the biggest part of all of it. Of the entire meeting, I think this is the takeaway. Near universal agreement to end security runoffs by December 1st as reserves approach ample. Meaning, near unanimously agreed to end quantitative tightening by December 1st. That's big. That's big. Policy outlook. Varied views on restrictiveness. Differing December expectations. Most see gradual neutral shift over time. Some favor further cuts if data aligns. They didn't get it, so I don't know if that'll happen. Many preferred to hold policy data dependent, no preset course, as they always say, and that's why no data in October was risky. Last paragraph. Elevated upside inflation risks and downside employment risks increased since earlier this year. That's not an important sentence. Emphasize deliberate decisions amid two-sided risks and data gaps, easing to prevent labor deterioration, but caution against signaling weak inflation commitment. A balanced approach to maintained anchored expectations for a dual mandate. Done. Wow, that took a while. Wow. That was the longest one ever. Get rid of that. That was the longest one ever. And my neck hurts from reading off the screen. Oh, there we go. Bitcoin has broken lower while we read this. The dollar has pushed higher. A little bit of an inverse correlation going on here today with the two. But the bleeding is very slow still on corn. The biggest takeaway from those notes, quantitative tightening ending in December. The balance sheet, they may need to add to the balance sheet and whatever into the future of 26. The unanimous agreement to end quantitative tightening. And that they expected a cut in December. That's going to be the wild card. Because to this point, I think the Fed has been very predictable throughout this entire year. Some people may disagree, but the Fed has done exactly as we said that they were going to do on this channel throughout the entire year. We said there'd be no cuts until September. September, we got our first cut. I was expecting to see a cut in December, and here's where it might get mixed up. We aren't sure. Even the Fed thought that they would in October. There was a little skepticism, according to the minutes. And since that meeting, there has been a lack of data. Their data-driven, data-dependent approach is going to be hurt by that. And I actually don't know how that will affect their interpretation. So it is possible that we see the first mix-up. If there is no cut in December, markets are going to react. They're going to react because they expected it. The Fed has been very much in expectation. Markets don't like mix-ups. They like consistency. They like to be able to depend and plan ahead. Who is Tom paid by? Sailor? Sailor? Nobody. Nobody pays me. I mean, why would I be paid by Sailor? If Sailor could pay me, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. Sailor opened EBD. Hi. Let me see, boys. I know I've been neglecting the chat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Angelica. What's up, Birth Canal, Crispy, Sharknado, Steve-O, Curb Shifter, D-Kin-Sight, D-Gin Cap, Digital Asset, D-Gen, you're still here. D-Lo, you're still here. What's up, bros? Dusty Hunt. 𝐿𝐡𝐴 Emerson, Felix Sapita Channel, 𝐒𝐵𝐼𝐿 Interweb Life, Jordan Scherfel, Lateralis, Crypto Space UK, Nirvana Republica, FOMOS, Quality Transportation, Rise, Smoke, Burp, Saucy Tech, Pickle. What's up, boys? What up, boys? We've been live for a while today. Been live for a while. This is our second stream. Tom's paid by who? Who am I paid by? I'm paid by shit. As dumb as pressing the lack of cuts in December. Cool cat. I wouldn't doubt it. Honestly, it does feel like markets are pricing in something. Does feel like it. Bitcoin at the helm of that ship. Dumping his brains out. New 4-hour just opened right now. That 4-hour close was brutal. Closing down from Tuesday. Signaling further downside, I would say. I love you, Bull or Bear. Oh, man. Same. I love you guys, Bull or Bear. Crypto house is on fire. Dude, it is. The sky is falling. Gold. You know what, Digital Asset DJ? You have been here for so long. Happy birthday, bro. You're always here. We did look at gold in the last stream. And when I say the last stream, I mean directly before this stream. It's our second stream of the day. I did not see any really big mix up here on gold. I think gold is still heading back to the highs. I think it's just painting out some kind of flaggy pattern. Let's see what happened last time gold did this. My call for 5,000 on gold by the end of the year is slowly getting away from us. It's slowly becoming less probable. Still a good call. I mean, that call was from, I don't even remember where. Some massive it's still been a massive move, even if it doesn't hit 5K. I mean, maybe we see a flag out like it did back here for a while. Actually, that's interesting. So gold hit its high in April. That's at the bottom of really a lot of markets, and then traded sideways. Now here we are hitting its top in October, days after the 10th crash, now trading sideways. I think it's honestly just going to trade sideways and then break up. Gold has topped. It could have. But the bet, I feel like the bet for gold is topped is a bet that the dollar is going to continue and that stocks are going to show weakness, right? That's what it looks like right now. That's what it looks like right now. Or no, that would it'd be the opposite. It'd be that stocks shit, man. My brain's foggy right now. Definitely be on dollar weakness. The dollar is at its high. It does look like it's trying to break up. Like this is inverted as very toppy. Kind of looks like Bitcoin inverted. God, I hate life. Lower high, retesting the low. Break. Dollar moving up would be, yeah, would be evidence towards gold topping. Would be. But if stocks are going to keep dumping, I don't know. I think it's on track. How about this? I still think gold will at least retest its high. I still think it sees 5,000, but I think that gold is likely to hold this low at least until it tests 4,300. Hold the low at 38. Although here it did break lower. Yeah. Dude, there's some weirdos in the chat today. Some very strange people saying some very strange things. The the chaos brings them out. The panic, the fear. See their walls break down. Sui pushing through the entry. Lame. This is still not doing too bad. I feel like taking it long right now is just not a good idea. So maybe abandon this concept. ADA breaking down. US JPY blasting. Probably why the dollar is moving up. JPY. The yen is losing strength. Ooh, here we go. Here's like the only long that I'm looking for at this moment. Monero. XMR, man, coming down to 350. Waiting for that entry. We have caught the lows over and over again. Unfilled at 350. Coming down. Touch as low as 353. I think I'm going to take this trade. I just said, like, taking a long is... feels crazy. And then I'm like, oh, but I'm going to long Monero. There you are. I'm still looking for this. I think it's a good play. Please don't blindly copy my shit. It's a great way to get wrecked. 𝐂𝐧 still looking for higher highs. How is it that this is doing that? Retested its high 2 days ago, looking for a higher low. Hold above 424. Retest 750. Move to 900. 𝐂𝐧's gonna be harder to enter though. File still bleeding down. Probably looking for $1.50 on 𝐿𝐶oin. Ethereum continuing to sell off, breaking through 2,900, 2,500 next support. I might take that trade too. It's a pretty good one. This is, I don't even remember what day this was. It's probably Monday. Did a little analysis on downside. Interesting. January 24's low to August 24's low. Gives us a little trend line here. When we last looked at it, we said this is a good bit lower than where we are. Now it's becoming reality rather quickly. This trend line today sitting at 87,000. Very, very close to price at this point, not even 1% away. Gonna be interesting. Kind of curious what happens on this trend line. To me, it doesn't really look like it wants to hold, but interesting nonetheless. Okay. Bringing it back. Bitcoin giving us a breather. I need a break of just like rolling through charts here. What are you guys doing? Damn, look at all these. How many people are watching? I have not looked at our numbers. 2,000, 2,200. Ooh, but we were up. We had almost 3,000 earlier. Let's go, boys. Jobs are cooked. Yeah, dude. Jobs have been cooked. We talked about that. M Stone, what's up, bro? Good to see you. We've been talking about that on this channel forever. Forever. We've done so many polls, like when they're saying like the numbers are good, right? Like the numbers are good, and we have taken so many polls in here because we have all these thousands and thousands of people in the community, and we're like, how do you feel about jobs? Like, how's your job going? Have you gotten a raise? Because they're like, job wages are up, and it's like, have you gotten a raise? Has it kept up with inflation? Have you been laid off? You know, like we've done these polls, and every single poll that we've done has reflected that like the job market was shit. Yet these numbers kept coming out saying it wasn't. We've known. Smash the likes. Look at Digital Asset DJ with his blue wrench. What a guy. Check Moondang. Some tunes. We can do tunes. I'll do tunes. Oh god, dude. Oh, 77, my guy. Gifted memberships. Can I check BTC's D? How dare you, Sandy? I'm gonna start calling it Bitcoin's D. Man, we need the laughs. Sometimes we just need the laughs. What's up, Luke Bodenstein? Crump Edmund Gerald Jr. Great name, Edmund Gerald. The Witcher. The Witcher. Speaking of The Witcher, dude, why did they get rid of Geralt? I'm not gonna watch it anymore. I watched all of it, and then they got rid of Geralt, and I'm like, I'm not gonna watch that shit. What if jobs completely collapsed? I feel like they did. Didn't they already? Realistically, I've said this for like a year now. Every single person that I know in real life, all of them, and I don't know that many people in real life. I know people mostly online, but all of them in real life have been laid off over the last year, 100%. Like all of them. And I know literally tens of people, and they've all been laid off, and like one or two of them have been able to find kind of similar jobs. Some of them found jobs because they had, you know, they had some family connections, some hookups and stuff. But like, job market's not good. Where do I see Bitcoin stopping? That is the question. I will answer it. I will answer where I think it's stopping. I don't know for sure. No one knows for sure. I want to put on some music though. What kind of music should I put on? I got requests. It's got to be EDM that I want to listen to. Has to be the songs I want to hear. Elon Musk says we don't need money in 20 years. Could be. Levity. Oh, Zach Martin. I love levity. Interesting that Elon Musk. Based on your analysis, are you gay, John? If you want me to be, bud. John, are you projecting here, buddy? Do you wish I was? For you, John? Of course, bud. Funny that Elon Musk would say we won't need money, yet Elon Musk is quickly just sucking up all the money on the planet. Right? Seems like a weird thing for a guy to say. Seems like a weird thing for a guy to say who's like actively trying to take every dollar he possibly can from everyone on the planet. Guy getting a $1 trillion pay package tells you don't need money. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Rusco. Do you love Rusco? Dylan Francis. Christmas music. No. No. Cosmo, Tom Crown, my favorite. White Noise. Thank you, man. All right, we're going to get into where we see Bitcoin stopping again. We've talked about it a lot, but we'll get into it again. We did the FOMC minutes. We talked about quantitative easing, quantitative tightening ending, about it. Yeah, I want to play this playlist, but it has 2 songs in there that I know I can't play. Son of a bitch. Music's so difficult on this. You know, screw it. I just don't care. I just don't care. Well, it'll like goof it up after the stream's done. After the stream's done, it'll be like, nobody can view it, but oh well. Nobody needs to view it after it's done. Here we go. A little lower. Oh, weird. What's up, Trick Shots? Levity. What's up, Jeremy? What's up, Jeremy? Bitcoin, where's it going? Why is it going down? Why is it going down, Tom? Where is it going? We're jumping into it. What's up, 𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐭 𝐲? Deathcore. Maybe someday. Rick will be optional. I can see that. Not a good look, bro. What is it? The chart is not a good look. Oh, not looking good, bro. No, it's not. The chart is looking very bad. Very, very bad. Damn. Take a look at Polkadot. Take a look at NVIDIA. We got a lot to look at. Let's do this first. We're gonna look at Bitcoin first. We've gone over a lot of these things. But new people are tuning in. New people are freaking out. Bitcoin keeps moving lower. It doesn't really feel like there's signs of stopping. You're not wrong. You guys know I will always remain bullish. That doesn't mean that I think Bitcoin is going to go up every day. It doesn't even mean I think Bitcoin's going to go up every month, every quarter. One of those times is probably now. Bitcoin is not showing us signs of really anything. The only bottoming signal would be just people are freaked out. Look at our chat, dude. People are freaked out. They're scared. We have had some very strange people join us for the first time today and say some very strange things. That hasn't happened. We haven't seen that in years in this on these lives. It's funny. We do have a lot of awesome new people joining us. Welcome. Please subscribe, join our family forever. We're live here all the time. We'll be live when you need us, right? We've been doing this for years. But that would be probably the only signal that I would say is bottom-esque. The chart looks like garbage. Now, we are likely overdue for some kind of dead cat bounce, some kind of short squeeze, but those things can remain irrational for longer than we can remain solvent, as Mr. Buffett says. At some point, we are likely to see a rally. Unfortunately, that rally, the lower we go, more likely will be met with a lower high and more downside. But guessing where that will happen is hard to do in real time. We can make some estimated guesses as to where price is likely to find liquidity and likely to reverse, if even only temporarily. Unfortunately, those numbers are not really that close to where we are. I have these two marked off right here. I'm gonna make them a nice green box. We have seen in this bull market multiple instances of price action that are similar to today. I think March into August of 24 is a great example. December into April is a great example. Ugh, that's my neck so sore. Anyway. And we've seen these sell-offs. We hit all-time highs on both of them, and both times we saw price move down. On those sell-offs, we have seen price move down 33% in August of 24, and about 31-ish% earlier this year. When we look at those retracements, the drawdown from the highs, if we apply them to today, taking 126.2, and we pull them down to match those sell-off levels, we find 84.3, which would match the 2024 sell-off, and 86.3, roughly, that would match the sell-off earlier in this year. Both of those, fortunately, would be a higher low, even though they're not really prices we want to see. They would be a higher low. They would keep this bullish structure intact. They don't show up on the chart maybe in ways that I would like them to. We don't really find horizontal levels there. They're not at a fib retracement. There's not a lot that points to them other than simply placing them on the chart. The one way that I have seen that we can find them is basically our fib extensions, looking at our failed rallies on the way down. November 4th to the 11th, we saw a dead cat bounce or rally. We can see down here a fib extension level sits very, very close to that April sell-off. We zoom in to very close price action and apply the same kind of analysis, just connecting our low to our failed high. We do find some confluence. Our 1618 and our measured move targets sit close enough in this level. That's kind of all of the confluence here. It's not a super supported level. There's just not a lot of things on the chart that say this is where we bounce. It is better than nothing. Maybe the only other little piece we can say is on our rally in April, we had a pretty inefficient move to the upside. Price is now in that zone of inefficiency. Price is right here. You can see the dot. At the bottom of that zone is kind of right about where we were looking 84K. This being filled in is very normal price action. There's not a lot of support built here because of this inefficient move, and we're coming down to create efficiency in it. Markets largely work that way. But that's it. Usually we have more than that. So to look lower, or to look to maybe the first point on this chart that has lots of support, would be unfortunately a level that would be very bearish. 74 to 60, 74 to 76,000. This is April's low, and basically it is a range from the wick low to the closes. There is, by every measure, liquidity here. Look on liquidation heat maps, look wherever. You will find that these levels are supported by analysis. The problem is, visiting these levels really messes up the chart. In our run here, throughout the bull market that we have seen moves up and pullbacks, but those pullbacks have painted higher lows each time. We saw this happen many times. But each high and each low was higher than the last, creating an uptrend. Higher highs and higher lows. At the moment, that uptrend is intact. We have moved from April's low to a new all-time high. That's a higher high. We at the moment have a higher low, but we don't actually have a low in yet. Any value above 74,000 is a higher low and continues the uptrend. That's why this level is scary, because retesting or trading lower than 74 breaks the uptrend established by the entire bull market, by the entire last 3 years. That would be a significant and damaging point on the chart. If that were to hit over the course of, I don't know, over the course of the next year, whatever, 2 years, I would likely be looking for price action that returns maybe to 100K. We can go a little higher. We'll figure out when we get there. But unfortunately, would likely be rejected into a downtrend, right? Then we start exploring levels lower, like these 50s, whatever. Let's not get there. Today is scary enough as is. We don't need to jump in there yet. 74 to 76K is the next chart supported level, in my opinion. We have a shot at this 84, 86, but until then, I just don't really see any. I don't see anything. Am I missing something? Do you guys see something here that I don't? Please share it. I don't know. 1K Bitcoin world would end? I'd buy. Elon Musk says we don't need to plan to have money in 20 years because he'll have all of it. I agree. Professor Beans, you okay? You boofing at Professor Beans. NVIDIA earnings coming up. Hopefully that answers people's questions about where, I don't know, how I view the chart. Right now, we're still technically in this uptrend. Technically is the worst way to be in it. That becomes in jeopardy down at the levels described. In between price here and those levels, I really only see one point that isn't that heavily supported. We'll find out. You won't need money when you can't have any money. NVIDIA earnings in 32 minutes. People are looking at NVIDIA. Liquidity at support 58. Is there? It's just not. I don't know. I mean, that is it. 84 to 86. So 85 is right there. I expect a bounce of some kind, but we just haven't seen them. Mid 70s target if it plays out. Yeah, I don't want it to. I would prefer not to. NVIDIA earnings. What is the news? I don't follow NVIDIA. If NVIDIA crashes, though, I feel like the whole stock market's shit. How have earnings been going? Are they expected to hit earnings? I guess it doesn't really matter, because I remember when I started trading, it was like, if earnings go good, stock goes up. If earnings go bad, stock goes down. And now it just seems like they roll the dice. It's like, Roll a 20-sided dice. If it's above 10, we'll pump. If it's below 10, we'll dump, and it just is irrelevant as to what gets published. Crispy, I know. Well, people are asking to look at alts because those are the bags they're holding, and they're panicking, and they're looking for some kind of confirmation or some kind of comfort. Unfortunately, man, the alts are going down. They're gonna probably gonna keep going down until Bitcoin reverses. That's the shitty reality of it. 152 Nvidia, yeah. So if people are looking for a sell-off on Nvidia, 152. I mean, this has been on this chart forever. It was tested very briefly on the day. Very, very briefly. I think I just got rid of this fib. Hey, Mr. Postman. Come and give you what I love levity. I have to skip the next two songs because I know for a fact the next two songs we'll get a little claim on the stream because I played them before. They're two songs I really love, but unfortunately I can't play them. They're by one of my favorite artists. 8% of an index of 500 stocks is crazy. Yeah, dude. Let's be real. If Nvidia does fall to 150, it's about a 20% decline. That's gonna pull like the entire S&P down. Hell yeah, it's manipulated. What's up, Philip Collin? You're a noob here? Welcome, bro. You found the right stuff. It's a mix of dubstep, charts, and trading. Pi cycle is still in play. People still following? Are they still following the Pi cycle? I haven't really heard much about it. 90K? Is there even a CME gap at 90K? There isn't. Oh, off of 90K. Yeah, I'm surprised there was no bounce off of the... where was this, man? 94? Oh, I'm on the 3-day. Yeah, the 91.5, dude, it is weird. There are no more gaps, though. Here's the issue. There's really no more gaps here. CME has no more gaps to fill until much lower. Oh, here's the song I can't play. Skipped. Let's go over to 𝐂𝐴𝐻. Hopefully 𝐂𝐴𝐻 doesn't mess with us. There's a gap at 60. I think that's the next downside gap. I don't think that there's another gap until 60K. Let's really quickly look. Because that one was filled. '92 is filled. Yeah, dude. CME has run out of its usefulness, at least for now. That's it. That'd probably be a good tweet. Gap at 60. People shit themselves right now. You guys are talking about the heat death of the universe. Let's go. Michael Saylor isn't going to ever let it hit 60K or 70K. I mean, I would love for that to be true. I don't know. Like, even if we don't hit 70K now, which I'm still not convinced of yet, but even if we don't hit it now, it seems incredibly likely that we would in a bear market. You know, if we enter a bear market next year, it seems incredibly likely. Like, Bitcoin would have to rally to very silly numbers for me to believe 70K is off the table. Like 70K, it's only a 44% decline. You know, you look at any other Bitcoin cycle top, 44% is like really just when the bear market started. They got kicked off there, right? Like right here back in 21. Like barely even started yet. For 2017, it was like right here. It's like bear market had so much more to go. I don't know, 71% to go. This bull market has been different. It's had diminished returns to the upside, diminished volatility, less expansive, explosive growth days. So to say that the bear market likely looks a little different, I think is logical. But I don't know. 70K? I think it's pretty possible. some point Richie Rich will buy. He'll save us. A little rally going on. Little rally. Teeny tiny rally. I'll take it. I'll take the teeny tiny rally. Save us, teeny tiny rally. All rallies will begin with a tiny rally. What are we up this? What percent are we up this year now? This is my favorite thing to tweet at the moment, is to say Bitcoin is up and then put a negative. Bitcoin is up minus 4.3% for the year. It is kind of crazy to put that in context. It's like, it feels like we're down so far, yet not only are we just down not even 5% for the year, but we're not even at the lowest point in the year. One thing that is very strange to me, Bitcoin has never, to my knowledge, closed a yearly candle like this. Let's see. I know BLX is done. I don't know why they stopped doing BLX. Historical data. Maybe you have to go to like BTC and crypto. There we go. BTC index. To my knowledge, yeah, Bitcoin's never closed a candle that looks like this. It would be very weird. In fact, let's put this into like a bigger even context. Is Bitcoin has only ever closed 3 red candles, period, for a year. Period. All right, actually, you know what? We can't count this, but to be thorough, here you go. 2009, where it started trading at 0 cents. I don't know, like traded under 0. Yeah, right. We won't even use that. But it's never closed a candle like this. It's only ever closed 3 red candles, period. That's a 50% down candle, 73% down candle, 64% down candle. If it were to close the year here, this would just be complete new territory. Unprecedented. It's weird. I'm about to add a custom interval. Let's do 4 years. Interval too big. Shut your dirty mouth. It's not too big. That's what she said. Anyway, would be very strange. Something tells me this is not how it's going to close. Something. Dude, USD JPY will not stop. I would like to believe that Saylor has the ability to prevent Bitcoin from going under a price. I would really like to. I'm just not sure that's how it works. It would be, it'd be a great, I'd love to be wrong. You know, there's been things I've been wrong about on this cycle, many. For instance, I also assumed that Saylor buying billions of dollars of Bitcoin, right? And not even just Saylor, others, but even just Saylor. Billions of dollars of Bitcoin. That would have an impact on the price. Like, has there even been a single time where Saylor has bought and price went up? Like a single time? Something feels weird, doesn't it? Something doesn't feel right about that. Because if I think something that doesn't feel right about it is if we think about it in the reverse, like if Saylor were to start selling, we would expect price to go down, right? But we would have expected it to go up when he bought. So like, will it pump when he sells, right? Like, I don't even know. It seems very weird. I've been wrong about things this cycle. It's how analysis goes. You just are wrong. You just do your best. Saylor bought Bitcoin the last 2 days. I think he bought on Monday. He was like Monday announcement he bought because price was already down from it. It was like 102. Yeah, I don't know. Can you check how much Saylor lost in stocks in the great .com bubble? I can ask Grok. How much did Michael Saylor lose in the .com bubble burst? Well, that's Grok. Because I don't know. I know it's a lot of money. If you go back and look at MicroStrategy, actually, well, strategy. I hate the name change. Honestly, if the bull market's over and the top's in, I blame Michael Saylor I blame him changing strategy's name. I hate it. If you go back and look on the chart, I remember the first time I pulled this up a few years ago, and I was like, what the F? Actually, right now I feel like, what the F? But I pulled it up and I was like, what in the happened here? In 2000. So I guess it was before the wasn't the .com crash, or that wasn't 2000? Then it was 2009. I was just a baby. I don't remember this shit. But I remember looking at this and being like, holy shit, this trade to 331, and in 2021 was only at 126. No splits, no reverse splits, nothing. His stock went down 99.87%. Reminiscent of truly the shittiest of shitcoins in crypto. It did recover though. It's been a wild ride. What's up, FX Driller? Afterglow Gaming. D Castaldo. What's up, bro? Jake the Snake super chatted $5. One of my faves, fancy spider lines, is at 89.3. If we can get above that, we might get a break. 89.3. Don't threaten me with a good time. Spidey lines. From, I don't know how you have it placed. 89.3. That's interesting that it'd be 89.3. Wait. Or would it? Would it be interesting? Professor Beans, what's up? I think she's got a poop. Here. Come here. For a piece of this egg. Egg over here. Over here. Alright, I bought us a minute. Formerly Trill, Clayton, Kulas, Obli, King Wasabi, Cat 2 Destroyer, Jeremy, Luke. All these new names. Yeah, I don't have the spider lines. I should get spider lines map. So Michael Saylor, how much did you lose in the .com bubble? Grok finally has an answer. Experienced significant paper losses. On March of 2000, his personal wealth dropped by approximately $6 billion in a single day when the stock price fell 62% from 333 to 110 or 120. Following an announcement of accounting restatements, this event is often cited as a catalyst for the broader .com crash. Oh, ew, that's uncomfortable. Saylor's peak paper fortune was around $13.5 billion, largely tied to his 40 million shares in the company. By mid-2001, stock continued to decline. He was ranked by Magazine as the top loser of the tech bubble with a total paper loss of 13.5. Interesting. His peak valuation was 13.5, and then his total paper loss was 13.53. So he lost more than he had. I don't know. Guess he was in debt. That makes me uncomfortable. I wish I hadn't read that. Top loser. He's like the James Wynn of the. He's the James Wynn of the .com bubble. Shit's gonna happen again. I mean, yeah. Apparently, he started the crash. This is. Uncomfortable. Uncomfortable. Let's hope that's not true. I'm surprised no one knows this. I don't know. People knew it. I don't think I had ever read that specifically. I didn't know that he lost a ton, and it was on the .com bubble. Yeah. Is what it is. You lost over 250,000 in token fee? What's that? There's a lot of pain out there today, a lot of negative feelings about our investments, about ourselves, about our choices, guys. Remember, I know it's easy to say for me right now, but money is just money. I know. You can object. You can hate me for saying that. It's okay. Life is more important than money. If you're feeling bad, if you're feeling like you want to hurt yourself or something, please call a crisis hotline. Please get some help. Life is worth living. Things will get better. How you're feeling right now is not how it's going to be for forever. We're going to be here. We have a community here. We push through all these bear markets. We'll be here. We're not going anywhere. You're not alone. But if you need help, get help. If you need help, please reach out and get help. People love you. We love you. What's my view on Bitcoin? It looks pretty shitty. Looks pretty shitty right now. This is nothing compared to other cycles. JKE. Yes, thank you. This is, if you've been through these cycles, man, like I'm not even at like a, I don't know. No, I'm not even at a 3 out of 10 for fear. This is like a solid 2.5 for me. It's like we haven't even broken the greater market structure yet. This is hardly a sell-off at all. Hardly even a sell-off, right? We're only down 29%. We're not even at the largest drawdown of this year. We had a bigger drawdown this year. We're not even at the lowest point in price this year. We were lower in April. It's nothing. That doesn't mean that you guys aren't suffering. It doesn't mean that you're not in pain. I know alts are slaughtered. It's okay. I hate it, but it's part of crypto. It's part of this ride. And I think it's also part of why there is so much opportunity and so much upside potential. Is this shit is not easy to get through. Majority of people can't stomach it. But we're here. It's always the darkest before dawn. That's what they say. Is it though? Is it actually? Apple Pie just subscribe. Welcome, Apple Pie. Be like Apple Pie. We'll be here for the long haul, man. Well, all the other channels were shilling the alt season and projects that they were paid tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars to tell you guys to buy so that they could sell it. We were here doing this content, not suggesting those things. We're going to be here tomorrow and the next day and next year and forever. Forever. So even if you're just finding us now, it's still just in time. Never accepted $1. Never accepted a penny. Not even a stable coin to shill you in projects or something. I've never accepted money in any form to, I don't know, like promote, to, you know, like, I don't know, invest in something. Of course, we have exchange links, things like that, tools. Our exchange partner, 𝐕𝐲, the description below. But yeah, I've been offered tens of thousands of dollars to shill you guys rugs. Never accepted any of it. Said XRP is holding up better than most. I'm not sure where you're getting that from. This XRP BTC isn't too bad. XRP is back to where I sold my XRP last year. I guess that wick is on all of the exchanges. It just goes lower on some. Shub, love my honesty, man. That's all I got. That's all I got. I've never pretended to know the future. All I got is being genuine and honest with you guys, because I want you guys to succeed. I want you guys to see what I found in crypto. It's just not easy this year, man. It has not been easy this year to see the silver lining. I think this has been the hardest year. Sounds weird, because I just said I'm not really scared or anything, and I'm not. But I think this has been the hardest, like, bull run year. A lot of expectations, they weren't met. things were played out very differently so far. Like, the sideways has been brutal. It's been something. Been something. If you made it, you should give yourself some credit. Even if you lost money, if you made it this far, give yourself a little bit of credit. I don't know, man. XRP looks just like shit like everything else. I don't see it. Doesn't look any better. Doesn't look any worse. Doesn't look worse. It doesn't look any better to me than most of it. Really, the only things that look decent. This is weird. Let's see how Dash looks, actually. Dash was doing alright. The only things to me that look at all, like, it's not even that they necessarily look good, though they kind of do. So they just don't look as shitty as everything else. Is like 3 coins. And no, I wish somebody would pay me to shill them. No, I'm just playing. And we've been looking at them for a while. 𝐬𝐶 still looks very strong. Nobody ever paid me to shill 𝐬𝐶. I bought 𝐬𝐶 literally in like 2020 because I googled what altcoins are dead, and the most answered one was 𝐬𝐶, and so I bought it. And I was like, we'll see. And then I forgot about it, and here we are. Nobody liked this coin even a year ago, even 3 months ago. But anyway, 𝐬𝐶 750 higher low, retested 750 higher low again potentially yesterday, and today's sell-off again, largely ignoring it. I think it's heading back to 742. After 3 tests of resistance, I think it puts the upside probability at moving to 900. I think that's where it's heading. Might not do it quickly, could take days, but I think it has a move. I'm looking to take profit at 900. Oh, that's some itchy scratchy dubstep. Another one would be Monero XMR. So another privacy OG coin. Monero more in line with the market, selling off today with the rest of it. But you can also see that Monero has had a very strong year. Moving up to 420 in May, crashing down to a higher low, retesting it here in November, looking for another higher low, back to 420. Potentially flagging out, whatever you want to call it. And I'm looking for a break to its all-time high, 517. I want to test there. Probably going to be looking for higher, but for now, let's just set our sights at what's immediately in front of us. Those are really like the only two. These are like the only two. Dash was moving really strongly with these coins earlier. It seems to kind of fizzled out here, but I still think its structure is decent. This is another privacy coin pretty much from that era. This doesn't seem quite as in line with the others. We've had some really good trades on it. But this one not showing quite the same strength. Probably less confident in this one. But outside honestly of 𝐬𝐶 and Monero, it's like everything looks terrible. Everything looks kind of equally shitty. Maybe there's stuff I'm missing. I'm just talking from a chart perspective. Not talking about anything other than just their charts. I'm sure there's some small caps that are doing something, but like, that's it. Every other thing, everything in the top 100, 200, 300 just looks like shit, basically. They all look equally shit. Some a little bit more than others, but like, bad. Bitcoin against stocks. Actually, Bitcoin against stocks is really close to its February low. It's interesting because April, it actually had moved to a high. Bitcoin had rallied against stocks into the crash, but it had dumped versus stocks in February, and here we are back to that, almost exactly that value. Reapproaching its low in February. It's actually a cool chart. This Sui trade might be on the table, but there's that one. Phil looks like poop. Doge looks like poop, but might be okay. Let's see. 𝐒𝐴𝑥 versus, so Bitcoin Gold looks like poop. Ooh, Ethereum wicking up a little. Maybe holding support. Litecoin looks like poop. I'm closing some of these tabs here. XCN, you guys have asked me to look at this a million times over the entire year, and the entire year it's just trended down the entire year. Good luck. Luck on that one. Volatility still picking up on Bitcoin. Telcoin moving to 0057. Weird. Huh. I will concede this is another one that isn't like red with the market. I don't know if that means I'd invest in it. Telcoin 0075. Looking for a retest of resistance. I'd be more likely to short than long. Honestly. Close that one. I need this. Solana. SPX, total, Bitcoin. All right, Jesus. This has been a long day of streaming. We gotta do what we gotta do. When does NVIDIA earnings come out? In like 6 minutes? 6 minutes. Go Japan. Japan might be tanking all the markets right now. Tron looks good somehow. Tron has always looked pretty strong. We've checked it a lot. I just pulled it up briefly, and it's maintained a pretty high baseline of strength over the last many years. I don't think it particularly looks strong right now in the short term when we compare it to other stronger charts, but definitely not one of the most bearish. All right, when's NVIDIA earnings? Right now? 5 minutes. Been live another 2 hours on this stream. Holy shit. 2 hours on this stream. It was like 2 hours on the last one. How many hours? Gained a lot of subscribers today though. Let's go. Let's see. Jim, yo, 55,000 views in the last 48 hours. Holy shit. That's a lot for us. We got 16,000 between 2 to 3 p.m. Jesus Christ. People are tuned in, locked in. Guys, if you're new to crypto or you're new to this channel, please hit the like button. Hit the like button, subscribe, join us, because we're going to be live at the latest Friday. But at this rate, man, we'll probably be live again tonight. We are live covering every big move. We've caught them all. We've been live before they're on, and we're going to keep doing that. So have your notifications enabled. If you're wondering why I'm looking around, I'm looking for my caffeine powder. I don't know what I did with it. It's like energy drink mix. I'll drink this coffee. My lord. 4,400. That might be the most votes we've ever gotten in a poll. 4,000. Wow. Still looking for that cup, but wow. This, I don't know if I hate to say it. Maybe this is a good thing. This kind of engagement, this kind of viewership, this kind of intensity in crypto is what the entire bull run has lacked. It's one of the biggest differences to me, having streamed through two, is seeing no peak in engagement, no spikes in engagement, no sustained elevation of engagement. Engagement, according to my analytics, mirrored the bear market, mirrored 2022. Pretty much since 2022, it relatively been the same. There were small peaks in March of last year, the end of last year, but there was no big, explosive, record-breaking kind of viewerships or engagement. And seeing a poll like this, man, that is kind of what I've been looking for. Now, this singular poll doesn't mean much, but this kind of flood of people looking for content, crypto content, Maybe it was the last piece missing in this puzzle. That's interesting. Like I got the receipts. You can see the difference in the analytics because I have them all the way back to 2019. This is something. If price reverses here, man, then things could get very interesting. There's a fly on the mic. Was there? I don't know. I didn't see it. Weird. Welcome to the Copium Road. It's like the Silk Road, but better. Engagement happens when emotions kick in. Yes, quality, but there's actually more to it. So it is when emotions kick in, but emotions, how do I phrase it? It's like, but emotions are also driven by how engaged people are. So you can't really be afraid when you're not engaged. So like if you bought Bitcoin and never looked at the price again, it wouldn't matter if it goes up or down. You wouldn't have an emotional reaction. When people are locked in and paying attention, yes, the driver then becomes their emotional reactions. That's why people feed off of fear and greed so bad. But there just hasn't been people engaged, and so there's been no translation to emotions. It's interesting. It's interesting. Because we, even down in like April's low this year, or August's low the year before, there was very little engagement even though there was emotion. It's interesting. FOMC is in 3 weeks. Can I check the link? I'll pull up link. I don't know. You guys want me to look at alts, but I'm going to tell you, man, I'm not going to have anything good to say about them. I say that and then like maybe I do. Maybe I do here. I think that it's crazy to look for a long right now on altcoins, but I don't know. I was waiting for 13 to get hit. Here we go at 13. Wicked off of it a little. Probably gonna get wrecked, but oh well. Nah. Nah, I don't want to place that right now. Irresponsible. Falling with the rest of the market. I mean, all right, I think you can find support here. We've had this marked out at 13. If it doesn't hold, which is probably the likelihood at this point, I think you're looking at 10. 10 is kind of ripe for the catching. You really got to bounce here, Link. Can't catch those wicks. There's just not really going to be anything positive to say about altcoins right now. There, with very little exception. There's, like I said, 2 charts that I think kind of stand out, and that's about it. The rest of them look like this. Virtually every coin looks like this. It's like some kind of top sell-off into October, crazy wick, rebounds, and then just paints this falling wedge. At some point, they're going to break to the upside, but analysis isn't going to tell us when. TA isn't going to be like, right here is where it bounces. NVIDIA earnings now. Okay. Oh, post as soon as it ends. They would. That's such a stock thing to do. So it's closed up. I mean, NVIDIA earnings, but like, what do we do? The market's closed. Is it really going to like move that crazily with the market closed? Things don't really move when the market's closed. NVIDIA earnings, there we go. Was it good or bad? Pour out a glass for the old Copium Road. That'd be a good song for someone to make for crypto. It's like the Copium Road. We're drinking whiskey and rye, singing soon who's gonna be Jedi. What? Fam. I've done too much streaming today. Too much. I appreciate you being here. I don't want to leave. I want to just keep going forever. You got 2,000 people still watching. Hell yeah. We have had 2 back-to-back live streams today. And I think both of them hit about 20K views. That's wild. People are here. But I probably should go. I probably should do this, guys. Sign up with our exchange partner, BYDeFi. Links in the video description below, pinned to the top of the chat. No KYC, you get bonuses for using my link, and I will advocate for you if you ever have any issues with them. Help support the channel. You're trading anyway. Sign up. I use them. You've seen me trade live all the time. We were live twice today. We are live typically Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but we go live whenever I feel like a move is here. That's why we went live at the time we went live today. And I will continue that practice. So you want to be subscribed. You want to know when we go live again. So have notifications enabled. If you don't get them on your phone, join our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. It's a great way to keep up. We will be live on Friday at the latest, though Bitcoin now looks a little reversey as I'm saying this. At the latest Friday. But there's very good odds I will be live again. I don't know, like even tonight. Jesus Christ, let me rest. Bitcoin does not want to let me rest. I'm going to be here for you no matter what happens. That's the bottom line. Up, down, left, right. Well, maybe not left. Left, there's problems with the timeline. I'll be here. We'll be here together. And we're going to make it through. That's the reality of it. Nobody knows what tomorrow holds, but we do know that we're going to be okay. We're going to have these people around us, all the people in chat. They'll be here. We'll be here together. We'll make it through, just like we have done. Through the good times and the bad times, we've made it through, and we're just going to keep on doing that. Eventually, it all works out. So take care of yourselves. If you are in a really bad spot mentally, please reach out to someone for help. You can, if you need crisis help, please call crisis hotline. If you just need to vent or talk, jump in the Discord. I'm sure other people are venting in there. Things are truly the darkest before they're bright again. Literally, Bitcoin moving up right now. I want to stay live so bad because it's moving back up. But I'm going to go touch some grass, right? And Bitcoin seems to like this, so maybe I should just let it go. Bottom signal maybe, JK. I hope so. I hope so. The bottom will be in when we least expect it, so love you guys. Like and subscribe. Join us. We'll be live soon. Take care of yourselves.